Yo, what's going on, people? We are back with a new video. Today we got Lords of the Fallen. How Lords of the Fallen has innovated on Souls-like combat. That's a big ass statement. With that speaking, we got Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen never been like this before. This is a brand new remake. So I want to see exactly what these guys are touting, because they talking a lot of shit with this one. How they innovated the Souls-like combat. Okay, I want to see. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh yeah, this is a 17-minute video, so I'm not gonna be pausing too much. I'm gonna be listening, and I might chime in every now and then and stuff like that, but this is a 17-minute long video. Holy shit. What the fuck? What a time to be alive, man. This is crazy. You got Wukong and fucking this. I just hope they fix the sound.
Here alongside creative director Cesar Bertosu and executive producer and head of studio at Hexworks, Saul Gascon, and we are here to talk
They got the best Saitama statue in the background.
Lords of the Fallen, and specifically we're going to focus on the innovations that it brings to the table. But before we even get into what Lords of the Fallen specifically does to innovate on traditional Souls-like combat, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and pick your brains a little bit on why you think this style of very deliberate, more methodical, and very often stamina-based combat really resonates with fans of this genre.
It's the price.
I think firstly it's a matter of pacing.
Pacing,
and
yeah.
how the world sort of treats you. We find that these games are best absorbed, and you do your detective work. The encounters are small nuggets of challenges that you need to untangle. Nothing kind of pushes you.
Look at this.
And locks you in an encounter. So effectively,
What the fuck?
It's a game about observation, premeditation. It's similar to Dungeons and Dragons in a way.
Right.
You're studying the map of the layout, you look at the encounters, you go in, you go out, and it's very challenging, very difficult, and the stakes are always high. And
There we go.
The stakes are high, and of course, scarce access to healing
Ooh.
makes everything much more meaningful.
Right. Much more like punishing and like more rewarding in return.
Exactly.
For all that as well.
Hey, yo, look how he holding that cup, man. This dude is confident. Look at this motherfucker, dog. This dude is confident. This dude knows he got a gem. They're both leaned back, like super comfortable. These guys know they created something good. They can just, damn. I like that posture, man.
All that as well. So now focusing specifically on Lords of the Fallen, did you have any fundamental goals for the combat design with regards to what you wanted the combat to feel like?
Actually, we had like several objectives that we wanted to kind of fill out, right? So the first one is that, as Cesar was explaining, like we want players to observe, to kind of analyze before they enter into combat, right? So there's kind of a tactical layer there. And
Holy shit.
So we started from the most basic, right? So we started from like that base of like, okay, we want each enemy to be an archetype that players can recognize, so that they can recognize the situation or how to act on there. And then from there we started building up the different abilities and capabilities of the player in terms of melee, in terms of range.
I like how you say that, melee.
You know, be able to manage those situations, right?
Mm-hmm. So Saul touched a very important topic and has been an uphill battle for us as well. Each enemy has strengths and weaknesses. They're good at one thing, they're weak at another. Having a very complex machine AI that is good at everything, defeating it becomes a war of attrition.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, and you do not recognize exactly what you're doing well. Because and we say this a lot, the difference between motivation and frustration is knowing what you've done wrong.
Right.
If something has no weaknesses or perceivable weaknesses,
Then you're not doing
you
nothing
don't
wrong.
Understand if you're doing well or wrong. So we're
Very good
trying,
point.
Focus on certain abilities, give that a clear purpose and clear weakness.
Get out the way.
So that you help you in the mastering of the game.
So it feels like with
Very good
every
point.
new addition to the Souls-like genre, we see new innovations to the combat, whether it's the regain system of Bloodborne or the posture.
Do you know how innovative you have to be for games down the line still using the term Souls-like? Miyazaki is the grandfather, dog, of this fucking shit, for real, because there's no other genre that innovates kind of like this, period, besides Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto was the only open world realism simulator that every game compares to. Every game will be that comes after Grand Theft Auto that's like Grand Theft Auto will be considered Grand Theft Auto. They'd be like, oh, it's just like Grand Theft Auto, or it's just like this, X, Y, and Z. They will always say Grand Theft Auto. Dark Souls is literally just like that, to where every other game that comes after it is copying off of this formula and blueprint, and it's flattering. Miyazaki should be proud, man.
meter of Sekiro, the key pulse of Neo. How does Lords of the Fallen further innovate on that Souls-like combat?
Can I take this one?
Yeah, I think like it all boils down to Umbral, right? So Umbral for us is an innovation in all levels. Like it permeates everything in our game, from narrative to combat to like everything, right? So progression systems, enemies, everything. So then that's one thing that was very important for us, right? That we needed this very solid base.
Yeah, got that area.
Of, an action RPG or tactical action RPG. And on top of this is like, okay, how will Umbral interact with every and each of our subsystems, right? So the player has a lamp, the Umbral lamp, and with it he can access a set of abilities that nobody else can in that universe, right?
Gotcha.
And that gives him an edge that he can use in combat or in exploration or interacting with different NPCs.
Yeah. More so, we've looked into ergonomics because we wanted to modernize the experience and make it feel fresh and fluid. We wanted the fantasy of the man in armor that kind of weaves and bobs, so it's not just turns on a dime, but at the same time we want the character as responsive as possible, so we had to kind of find a good balance between feeling like a realistic guy with all our medieval stances and all everything else. But also a lot of ergonomics in terms of movement, so in that regard we have kind of trained some of the recovered animations. You can get out of the certain recovered animations just a smidge faster. You can swing the sword, and when you're selecting, you can switch stances or in between attacks seamlessly, like from here, or of course, and this creates a lot of freedom for PvP where you change.
So you touched the
Wait, PvP? So there's player versus player in here? I thought it was co-op. I didn't know there was player versus player. I wonder if they got the note system too, kind of like how Dark Souls do. Huh.
I got to play this yesterday.
PvP.
Which was the seamless stance switching. I was doing dual daggers, and then I would do a dual dagger combo, and then I would switch, and then the next hit would be like two-handed, one dagger and a little stab. Can you talk a little bit about
that's like Elden Ring, yeah.
What kind of led you to adding that feature, and maybe give an example of how someone might use that technique to their advantage in combat?
Well, PvP aside, where you're not supposed to telegraph your intentions and always keep the other guy guessing, for single player, for the actual play, we noticed that the character always needs to move. There shouldn't be a stop where you have to change gear, equipment, and weapons.
I love that, yeah.
And you have good management of it.
You should be good.
The ideal fantasy is that you're switching seamlessly between targets and attacking, because currently you can do that. It's very hard to do so in case but you can parry this guy here, you can do this one here, turn to backstab the other guy. As long as you have stamina to flow, you will be able to use this dervish of death.
I like that.
The second thing that
gives you the choice.
Is that all the directional attacks that some of the genre has, like forward attack, back attack, we have done away with that because we noticed a lot of player pressing toward the enemy, and we want to result in weird animation. So we added the kicks and the bashes to combine into buttons, and what we call the multi-attack, the multi-hit with another combination of buttons, and that creates this very amazing looking hits. And because we added the posture that is visible, whenever you're waiting, slamming your weapon against an opponent, you see that diminishing, and you see you have like little stamina left.
Right.
Okay, I will throw caution off a window. I'm going to use a multi-hit attack that will put me vulnerable, but it's going to deplete the posture of that enemy. It's all a resource management game.
It's a give and take, yeah.
I want to remark that the timings are everything in this type of game, this genre, right? So it's all about identifying the opportunities, the windows of opportunity, right? So you asked for an example. So you're fighting this big dude, right? You're going with your two swords, and all in, and then the guy is attacking you, right? So then you dash out of it, switch to two-handed, and then you do a heavy charge attack. You get his posture down, right? So this way, like, it's very easy for you
It's
to
disgusting.
identify, okay, I now have a bigger window of opportunities, great. Let's switch to two-handed, and let's land a heavy attack. And then it will destroy the posture of that guy, right? But then that guy reacts, right? Because our enemies are not waiting for you to, right? So then when he does that, you can very quickly switch back to your other stance and then use parries or use shield, whatever you have equipped. Right?
So for the fluidity as well.
These guys look
sorry,
confident.
To harp on this.
Oh, it's okay.
I love it. Saul mentioned something very awesome, which is our heavy attacks. And this is something that we realized early on, that heavy attacks are something that kind of holds you into place. You have to commit, and then you miss and you get frustrated. Therefore, you're not going to use it. So this was something like, okay, how can we address this? And currently, as the game works, our heavy attacks are just as fast as light attacks. There's no difference. They still concatenate. The difference is that you can hold them. You can hold them as much as you want. So it's really up to you to learn the delivery speed so that you can see how much real estate I have with
That's
charging
different.
stuff.
I never would
Just
expect that.
once, it's once. Very quick.
So we call them now, let's say, chargeable quick
Chargeable light
attacks.
attacks.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, this came all from player feedback. The way that we work at Hexworks is that we have our, our team, very talented team, and with our very talented team of directors as well.
And you know what? Elden Ring does the same thing, to where it's like the heavy attacks, like you can choose to hold it for a short amount of time, or you can choose to hold it for the full duration, and it actually does more damage when you actually do it that way. But it gives you a choice. It gives you a choice not to commit to the longer, like the longer charge, and just go straight in with just the regular heavy attack. So I kind of like that. That's cool.
You do the best that we think is the best for the game, right? But you always want a reality check, right? So on every match time, you always check with external people, like it can be players, it can be press, it can be different types of companies, right? And that they give us the reality check. Hey, so what happened actually with the heavy attacks? It was like, hey, you have to slow. What do you mean? Exactly. They're supposed to be like committed, right? And they're like, yeah, but they are too slow. So, okay, so then we refactor it to be a charge light attack, right?
Right.
So then you just decide how much you want to commit as a player. So what is very cool right now is that if you just tap it, you get a pump like quick. But if you keep press, as soon as you release, you deliver, right? So you can decide how much you want to commit to that attack, right? And this all adds to this fluidity.
Faster and faster still. The healing's super quick because the game, as you notice, it's relentless.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
these small things,
Oof, I love it.
you sort of pick up on them as you play.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about weapons and weapon types. How many different types
These guys
of weapons
confident.
are there to be in Lords of the Fallen? And how does that weapon of choice affect your approach to combat?
So in terms of families, we have 12 families of weapons,
Wow.
which that means like a full set of different types of attacks, strength, speeds, reaches, etc. And then within each of those we have like dozens and dozens of variety of weapons. Some of them just affecting like the scalings, right? So the pure RPG, like okay, this one's going to be strength, this one's going to be with vitality, whatever, right? With chaos, with the radiance. So those are the basics. But then every weapon, what it does is that it has a unique set of animation. So then basically when you choose a weapon, you're choosing also a playstyle, right? So
Right.
if you are armed, for instance, with a long sword, you're gonna be doing
That was a good ass parry. You didn't capitalize on it because it switched.
attacks, right? Meanwhile, if you use like a short sword or a knife, it's gonna be quicker, right? And a cool thing we actually are very proud of, and it's very fun to play, is that you can actually combine weapons. You can dual wield them in any combination you want. You don't give you any limitation, so you could
Wow.
like two crazy great hammers, right? Like boom, or two great swords, or like you can combine anything with
Or a knife and a hammer.
on a rifle.
Okay.
Like that.
Usually you would do that like to get the effects, special effects that some weapons have. If you combine like a crazy combo like that, like a big hammer and then a small knife, it's like okay, that gives me plus whatever when I kill an enemy, I get vitality back, whatever, right? So then you will combine those two to get those advantages. So for us, what was more important is to provide players with freedom. Right? It's like okay, you have this huge tool set of things to have fun with, like just experiment. And this is what we want players to do, like experiment with all the systems, all the weapons.
Oh, that enemy looks annoying.
Sets and types of attacks that we provide.
So moving on from weapons to magic, and we don't want to go into too much detail because we have another video coming out later on of all about magic.
Really?
But, can you go into a little bit about what role magic plays in combat in Lords of the Fallen?
Oh, it's tremendous. So,
I hope it ain't like Elden Ring where it's overpowered.
because the game is very heavy on the theology of the cosmos and the entities that grant one type of magic to those that do the reading and respect their rituals. So we were super heavy on lore and stuff like that. Let's say every magic type, it has a patron saint, let's say. And
Nice.
they want specific ways for you to worship, and they use certain catalysts, or use to the blood that becomes light, sealing light, or use hands of their fallen to conjure. So
Yeah, these guys are fans of the Souls genre.
of the game, literally. And when we design magic, because for us the melee is absolute king, and melee it's everything, weaving in and out of combat. We have nukes, meteor showers, that's right,
We have some crazy stuff.
but a lot of the magic focuses on close to medium range, to buffs, to aura, to
Not long range.
anything you consecrate in the ground, or creating bouncing fireballs, which are kind of useless in a large area, but in small areas.
I knew they were gonna come alive too.
So and also we want the fantasy of the players taking the magic from the creatures that they see. If a bot just ruins your weekend with this one particular ability, we wanted to play to see that ability for himself.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, the
I love that.
like, anything you see in the game world, you can use it. And here,
Oh, that's beautiful. See, what most people don't understand, the main thing that makes games like Remnant, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne so fucking good is no, I don't think Bloodborne did that. I would say, okay, just Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Demon Souls, and Remnant is the fact that the bosses that they have are so fucking cool that you want to use their gear, and you like to be like, man, wouldn't that be sweet if I could do what he did? And then you get it afterwards. What makes the replay value of those games so potent is the fact that you can't claim all the abilities the first time. You can only claim it the second time you go around. Like, you have to do it the second time or even the third time around. That's what make the replay value so fucking good. And it's just like, you're just keep on jumping on the ride over and over and over and over again until you get everything. And that's what make it so good when it comes to the replay value. It'll make these games last for years. That's a genius thing to do. He said literally everything you see in the world you probably can get. You can get or use. That's cool.
from any enemy, any magic you use, anything, like any weapon, this is something that was very important for us.
Wow.
It's inspirational. You see that, hey, how did that I don't know, fire witch drop this fireball, right? Like, what's you can, right?
You can cosplay her. Yeah, the tail to the armor, so you look at
Her stuff.
Nice.
Let's say that our main
Fashion
to
fallen.
how to implement magic or integrate magic in combat was a bit like, you could say like the good old Star Wars movies, you know, like you see the guy like taking the lightsaber and then force push somebody and then suddenly, oh, you know, like you're like, oh, it's so cool. Or that way with the electricity, right? So we were a bit, we wanted that for the players, right? We wanted them to be able to get the swords, as we explained before, like switching stances, like different playstyles, and then suddenly go like, bam! And you just drop a flat fireball, then you get attacked, bam! You use a protection spell, right? So your damage is reduced, and then you can counteract with a screen.
Wow.
Which is forward, right? So we wanted that dynamism. This is why, as Cesar explained,
Look how
before,
good this looks, man.
And then it's a quick, like you have everything remapped, so you can be like this. And, so it requires a bit of muscle memory, right? So I always do, for what I use the most between combat, I put it at 1 and 2, right? Because I'm not that, you know, like that burst with this finger, but yeah, it's super cool to see the combo.
But this started very humble. We were, and I think we mentioned this before, but maybe not in this interview. One of the first thing that we've done is started games to address feedback for the previous game. And in previous games, folks felt the combat was too rigid, or otherwise not as, you can't use it in more ways than one. There's just a few abilities, and use them. And that is like, okay, magic. Put it on top of we need to expand the magic.
Yes, I never played the first one.
That's how we got the ball.
You don't want like
I've seen it, but I never played it.
magic, how do we properly integrate it, right? Same with Umbral actually, or everything we integrated in the game, right?
And it's not just a numbered game.
Exactly.
We cut magic that was redundant, that felt like it was overshadowing certain things. Like this school of magic has a different. No. This is too aggressive for this sort of things. We know we want to overlap and step on any tail.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a Pandora's box that we had to kind of keep.
Yeah.
Oh, easy. We're melee is still king. We're not transforming the avatars.
All right, well, that is all I have. Thank you all
Oh, wow,
so
that went
much
by quick.
for
I was-
telling us all about Lords of the Fallen, and we've got plenty more Lords of the Fallen content coming out all throughout the month. So, for everything else, keep it here on IGN. Bye-bye.
Bye.
These fuckers look confident. This game is grotesque. I love it. It's like Bloodborne mixed with I will even say Diablo. Bloodborne, Diablo mixed with Dark Souls. So it's like those three games with the feel and stuff like that, with the grotesqueness. Okay, so like what I said before, Souls-like games are fucking, it's taking over everything. You got Wukong, you got fucking Remnant that I'm still enjoying right now. You got Elden Ring, hopefully their DLC comes out really fucking soon, but I don't see it coming out anytime soon. Cause Miyazaki can retire right now if he wants to, but I don't want him to. And then you got Armored Core coming out, which I'm gonna check out too. And Jesus Christ, what a time to be alive, man. What a time to be a Souls-like fan. Fan of the genre. I can barely speak. Yeah, but shit. I'm excited, man. I can't wait for this. Holy fuck. And this come out in October. Hurry up, October. This was 17 minutes long, so yeah, I'm about to be up out of here, man. Appreciate you guys for staying with me and watching this with me. I'm going to be keeping tabs on this. If they come out with more videos, I'm probably going to do more videos on it, because this is the next video game that I really want to get into that's coming out. And I'm excited for it. I just want them, I hope that my little gripes are taken out, or they're improved upon, or to tell you the truth, if I play the game, I probably won't even notice it. That's the thing. Looking at a game before you touch it is different than when you actually have it in your hands and playing it. So my little gripes are probably not even an issue. We'll see. I can't wait for October. But until then, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But I'm up out of here. Peace out.